figure it out. Yo. Yeah. I got the baseball.
Through.
Sure. You so you playing football? Huh? How about that? That's what's up. What position?
I don't.
I
don't know what he's doing.
Okay.
Yeah, T.
I'm gonna be watching now, so you shouldn't have told me now.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, she muted it. Oh, okay.
Are we on live right now? Hey,
Yeah.
What's going on? We got a lot to discuss today on this Tuesday night here on the Walk-Ons. NBA Finals happened over the weekend, or over the week, should I say, and champions were Golden State Warriors and all that good stuff. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about LeBron James. We have a special guest, Mark Ellis. He'll be on the phone today. And then also we got Coach Price. So let's go ahead and get started. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for listening to our show today on iTunes and iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, YouTube, all that good stuff. So thank you for watching on Facebook Live also. On the table today, we have Brandon.
What's up? How y'all doing?
We got Wabi.
Great to be back on the Walk-Ons.
And we got Chris.
How's it going?
And Tremaine, he is on the phone, so if we can unmute him, he might not be talking right now. So we will.
Hold on, wait a minute. I'm not talking.
now you're here. Okay.
Now you're here.
Listen. You know, I'm still coaching and stuff at the same time. Like I will always work.
You and Coach Fry, both of y'all come in like this.
That's all right.
That's how we do.
But once again, we're glad for y'all to be hearing us today. Make sure you follow us on our social media on Facebook and on Twitter. Find us on our website at freethinkersradio.com, and then make sure you share us throughout the night. If you got any comments of anything, make sure you put that in the comment section. We will discuss that throughout the night and all that good stuff. If you are wondering why Chris got these sunglasses on, it's not because he got his eyes dilated.
Nope.
But the Cavaliers got dilated, though.
Wow. Cavs homegoing services will take place in about 10 to 12 minutes.
Yeah. So
don't do that. Don't do that.
But it's all good though. Chris is gonna be in Spence night. That's why me and Chris and Robbie's wearing black. Brandon got gray on, so that's kind of halfway there.
Close enough. Close enough.
So we got to discuss with that. All right. So first things first. We got the pick six here. First, we got Trump not inviting the champs to the White House. As we remember, Trump did not invite the Eagles to the White House because they won the Super Bowl, but also because they what
A
he
lot of
says
folks were
is
pulling out.
speaking. Yeah. And then now the champs, which is now the Warriors, he said this before the championships were crowned in the first place. He said that they was not going to be invited anyway because of what they said about not coming to the White House either way.
Yeah,
but
well,
they was not going to
they
go
got
anyway.
uninvited last year
Yeah.
too, after originally being invited.
Yeah.
So
They weren't going to go anyway.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
come on, man. What you think? Come on now.
Yeah.
That all.
It's twofold to that, man. It's an interesting situation with that whole thing. I think that, to be honest with you, on both sides, I think that's really everybody is kind of handling this all wrong. I know that they don't want to go, and I know that they feel what they feel, but at the same time, too, it's still an opportunity just to go. I mean, that's an opportunity to go, settle your differences, settle what you see, even if the man don't understand. Like, you know what I mean? You still go up there. So it's still twofold on the NBA and NFL. I don't like it anyway across the board. So but hey,
My thing is, you can't communicate with idiots. Like he's set in
very
his
true.
ways. Okay, he's 70 years old. If he doesn't get it by now, he just doesn't get it. There's no amount of dialogue that can take place, that can happen, that's going to change that.
He only
period.
communicated with Kim Kardashian.
Exactly.
Are you kidding me?
but
Are you serious right
understand,
now?
But see, hold on, but think about it. This is half the problem. A lot of people don't understand how Trump is. A lot of people are looking at the fact of what Trump may have said. Don't get me wrong. I'm not giving credit to what he said. I'm not saying it wasn't wrong, but you got to understand the type of mindset this guy is in. Half of the stuff that he does in society, there's a lot of it has to do with money, because he's a businessman. So he's going to handle things a businessman is going to handle. If he's not expecting us to, he's not going to be like other presidents, like Obama, who's going to go out here and fight for the people one certain way. He's going to make a way to make sure that the wealthy or those one percenters are taken care of. And that's the problem. Everybody is getting mad about that, but they're not focusing on some of the real issues going on in our society. We focus on the fact about somebody in office. That ain't got nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
True.
So,
it's a ceremonial award, though. I mean, it shouldn't be bringing politics in it. It's just a matter, hey, show up, opportunity to communicate, maybe.
Well, he did offer
and
them
everybody go
to-
their separate ways.
to write a letter, which I don't
shouldn't
think
be
he
this
gonna pay
hostile.
attention to, but for them, I can see what you saying, Tremaine. What I was saying is, go there and just, talk to him face to face. And if you have the chance to actually speak up, or in other cases, embarrass him on the White House lawn and just speak your differences, that's a good time to do so. I know.
I mean, you can be respectful and say, hey, man, thank you for the invite.
In a respectful way, yeah.
But I disagree with your position on assault weapons. But when you can have a civilized conversation.
Conversation, right? And Robbie, and what Robbie is saying, that's what the Robbie, I see we on the same page with it, because that's an opportunity. And my thing is that we so narrow minded, we focusing on what this man. Oh, he don't agree with black rights. He don't agree with this. He don't agree with that. Okay. But if you don't go up, you got an opportunity to go up there and talk to this man. You got an opportunity to communicate about
But how much are we going to keep having this talk about? We need to create dialogue. Like, we keep saying, oh, we need to call and communicate with him, have this dialogue. I mean, how much dialogue can you possibly have? Like, he's already heard us.
He sees exactly what the people are saying about him in all the media outlets and across the world. So if you see that and you continue to have these moments and things of that nature, you're choosing not to want to communicate.
Yes, exactly.
He's very sensitive with his Twitter.
not,
I definitely agree with that.
Right. Yeah, I'm not saying that he's not. I agree. That's what I'm saying on both sides. It's a bunch of petty stuff going on both sides. I'm not arguing the point. I'm just saying that when it comes down to it, if you go up there and you at least attempt to try to say something, then at the end of the day, I've given my part. I did what I could do. And if these guys are supposed to be some of the top athletes in the world, even if they don't agree with what he's saying, at the same time, we still got to communicate. We still got to say our piece. If you don't listen, then hey, wipe the dust off your feet, keep it moving. It is what it is.
That's true. Next topic. Last night, speaking of Trump, Trump was in Singapore meeting with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. Okay. Who also was there was Dennis Rodman. And there was a CNN video of him being very passionate about him and Trump meeting together, and knowing that Dennis Rodman been there a few times. A big Kim Jong-un fan, shall I say. And yes, they were in the Making America Great Again hat and all that good stuff. But he was very passionate about him Trump meeting Kim Jong Un. So how you feel about Dennis Rodman?
I want y'all to have that same energy for Dennis Rodman y'all had for Kanye when he had that "Make America Great Again" hat on. I don't see nothing about any mention of Dennis Rodman right now. I want to see that same energy out here.
He's a clown. That's what he is. He's a clown, man.
You're not gonna get it.
I know. I'm just saying
because to be honest with you, they're gonna give that energy towards Kanye because of him dating being married to Kim Kardashian. I mean, and it's not because they're trying to stir up something. They're going to give less of that attention to Dennis Rodman because Dennis Rodman was already kind of out there when he was playing basketball. So they're like, oh, okay, well, this is normal for Dennis Rodman. That's half the problem with the world anyway. We'll give a pass for certain people. We don't give a pass for other people. So it is what it is.
I mean, you know what this all is? I wish the Boondocks still existed while all this was going on. I wish it did.
It'll be hilarious, though.
Boondocks is a great show.
That is
awesome.
Great show.
Awesome.
Next topic we have here. There's a video out. We got a few minutes here. We got a video out. The World Cup is coming real soon, and there's a video of referees taking bribes of make sure they change the game around, call certain calls. Now, not
yellow card,
red card. Yeah, they probably throw a white card. Now, I'm gonna say this is the first time.
Take sunglasses off.
I won't say this is the first time this might have happened, but this is actually caught on video.
Listen,
of them doing this.
This is nothing new.
I know.
Did you see the two Escobars? This ain't nothing new.
This ain't nothing new, but they got this
Pablo's
on video.
teams were winning.
But
period.
The people that's in the video one was a FIFA executive and one was a Kenyan official. And both of them was going to be doing something related to the World Cup this year. I know it's not just these two. In the video and in the statement, it was about a good 5 or 6 people that actually took bribes to actually make this happen.
I'm
follow the money. Look at the bank accounts.
I mean,
Subpoena the records.
It makes you wonder about what's going on in the world of sports overall.
Oh yeah,
and now you got legal sports betting. Oh yeah, this is about to get very interesting.
It's going to be disaster.
You're going to see some games. You can be like, hold on.
Hey,
nah.
Speaking of
no
sports,
2002 Kings Lakers all over again.
I gotta get my account back up on what's that sports betting site called?
Pause. They're not paying. They're not sponsoring. They're not getting no pre-pub.
Thank you.
I'm just saying.
I take that.
Oh wow.
I'm just saying. You ain't sponsoring. You ain't getting no free pub here.
Another topic. Brian Bowen. He was the former Louisville / former South Carolina basketball player that never played a game of college basketball, by the way. Right. But recently he joined the NBA draft, and after talking with different agents and such forth, he put his name out the NBA draft, and now his possible road now would probably be the G League or the overseas. Right. So is this something that he needs to do as for, going either overseas or G League? Or
I don't know if he was projected to be drafted anyway. He said he was invited to the combine, one of 69 invited to the combine. Only 60 get drafted, but he didn't overly impress as to one of the definitely not a first rounder.
Not top 40.
No. So, he might have slid in at the end of the if somebody wanted to take a chance on him, but I don't know if he would have been drafted anyway.
There's plenty of good professional sports leagues across the globe. So, I mean, go join one of them. I mean,
man, he's a little rusty. He hadn't played in a year, competitively.
Join LeVar Ball's league.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
No, not LeVar's Ball.
Hey, that new commercial fire. I'm not even going to lie to you. That new commercial is fire.
I give you that.
Hey, they making their money still though. They on season 3.
It's season 3.
Season 3. I never thought I'd make it that far.
Just saying, bro.
If y'all just not tuning in, that's Tremaine O'Neal on the phone. As you know, Tremaine O'Neal.
You put that man in the whole government out here?
I sure did.
Hey, it's all good. You can put my government out
whole government. Tremaine O'Neal.
Tremaine O'Neal on the phone. Next topic. If y'all saw the UFC battle this past weekend, CM Punk was I want to say he was playing against Jan Jones. That's the name?
John, you mean, I don't know.
All right, well, whoever that was, he got embarrassed on that weekend.
CM Punk got embarrassed?
0 for 2 in UFC bouts.
You talking about CM Punk, right?
CM Punk, yeah.
He I don't know why he came over. He was in the WWE with the fake wrestling. Yeah. I don't know why he came over with his real stuff.
Well, you look at the
He ain't want that smoke.
Well, he's a legend in wrestling now.
You look at the picture, you'll see the CM Punk picture.
He ain't no Randy Orton. He ain't The Rock. He ain't Stone Cold.
He a legend in his own right.
He can stay in his own world. All right, coming up, we're going to talk about the NBA season and finals that has happened this past year and week. So we'll talk about that. And also later on in the show, we'll talk about what will James do or what should he do? What teams he should go to. So make sure y'all comment right now. We'll be back right here on the Walk-Ons.
That's going to be a great topic right there.
I'm ready for it. Yeah. You talking about the James topic?
Yeah, you know what's funny is that I just seen on Bleacher Report, definitely they just was talking about the Cavs planning to keep Larry Nance Jr. They want to, hey, for real.
LeBron is gone.
Hey,
no, not for Larry Nance. Larry Nance is
No, I've been reading
good.
that they plan on trading Kevin Love if LeBron leaves.
that should be fine. That should be fine.
Kevin Love was on fire before he got to the Cavs.
He was
good with the Cavs.
That's what I'm saying. So like,
but you got to
leave.
But see, that's why I said it's gonna be an interesting topic. Because as far as everything, when it comes to even Kevin Love staying there, it's a lot, man. That's all twofold. Like Kevin Love I think a lot of it had to do with him just having a step back. You know what I'm saying, with Kyrie and LeBron.
He had to find his role.
Of being a leader.
True.
Yeah, and that's hard.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. Make sure you follow us on our social media on Facebook and on Twitter. Visit our website at freethinkersradio.com and find us on our SoundCloud. We're going to have different clips of different parts of the show on there, so you can go in there and listen all you can and share all that good stuff. And then also throughout the night, comment, and share. If you got any comments or suggestions about what we talk about today, especially about LeBron James later on in the show, we're going to talk about that. So make sure LeBron James. So we'll have different aspects about what he should do or what he probably will do. So make sure you stay tuned later on the show for that. But right now, we're going to talk about this past NBA season and finals of what has happened this year, and just looking over what transpired, in the playoffs and also in the finals with Golden State and Cleveland. It was one of those years that a few teams had the ability or the chance to take down those two kings. The last 3 years, no competition. But this year you had Indiana, you had Houston, Boston was in there too. But 2 out of 3 teams, suffered injuries on the playoffs. Key injuries.
Yeah.
So just seeing how the progress of what these teams are doing now to actually compete against LeBron James, compete against the big four of Golden State and such forth. You can see these teams are now coming up to actually making more of a competition where we'll have to see Golden State and Cleveland every year in the NBA championship.
I've been trying to
4 years in a row.
4 years.
I've been trying to tell people since the beginning, dynasties don't last as long as you think they do.
Yeah.
Right? Kobe and Shaq, they won 3, they were done. D-Wade and LeBron, they won 2, they were done. The 08 Celtics, they won 1, they were out.
It just seems like it lasts forever.
Seems like they last longer.
Whoa.
And depending on where LeBron goes, I mean, you would think if he goes to San Antonio, if he goes to Houston, I mean, you would think that's going to slow down the Golden State dynasty a hell of a lot more than it is right now. You see what I'm saying? So,
but that comes back to too. Like I think a lot of people are looking at, especially throughout the playoffs. I agree with Klay Thompson what he said. Look, it is what it is. You got to beat it, and LeBron and them agreed to that because when it comes down to it, dynasties can last long, they cannot. I mean, think about the Patriots. Patriots the same way. Dynasties, they've been doing it for years. Now, in basketball, it's a smaller roster. So it being a smaller roster, they're going to constantly send people out, bring people in, especially with Golden State, especially with their owner just saying what he said. They're coming back to a place where they're getting ready. He said he'll give Kevin Durant whatever he asked for. So if Kevin Durant gets more money, then that certain people are going to be gone. Because, but they're going to make sure, what are they going to make sure? Golden State's going to make sure that their current 5 to 6 people are still on that roster. It don't even matter.
Well,
so,
I mean,
that's not going to
I've been reading it that they've been pursuing Anthony Davis. And if they did that, they would have to give up either Klay or Dre or both of them. So, I mean, if that's a goal, I mean, they're obviously looking to try and get better any way they can. I don't think it's set in stone that Klay and Dre, they're going to automatically keep those 2 guys.
Because they have to get better. Because Houston pushed them so far.
Yeah.
They almost lost that. If Chris Paul didn't get injured, they might not have made it to the finals this year. So you have to do something.
Right. No, I agree. I agree 120%. But I also know, too, I see, they're looking to get Anthony Davis. But then you still got to turn around and you got to know how much Anthony Davis is still getting paid. In New Orleans.
Well, not only that, though, if you're talking about getting rid of Draymond and Klay for Anthony Davis, you pretty much take away a help for Steph Curry. Because Klay can hit the threes out of no way. If Curry's, let's say, for example, Curry got hurt once again next year, all right, and you traded away Klay and Draymond, you take away an accurate 3-point shooter, and you take away Draymond Green, who can hit threes when he needs to be.
Well, Draymond, he could play one more year, he says, and if he has a great year, NBA Defensive Player of the Year, and he can ask for a max deal. So he's probably and he can still get traded, obviously, but he could if he, I
think he'd be a good player.
They have Kevin Durant.
Well, yeah, KD's still in there, but at the same time, you talk about giving away two prolific scorers.
Oh yeah, you
and
better have something.
Anthony Davis, along with Kevin Durant and Steph.
But we haven't seen Anthony Davis deep into the playoffs, so how is he going to react with this pressure?
He'll be fine.
Right.
I think
we didn't see Chris Paul deep into the playoffs till this year.
But you take away,
he was fine.
But you take away a down low presence and a 3-point shooter for a down low bigger presence.
It's not going to happen.
So you're saying Anthony Davis is better than Draymond and Clay combined?
Listen, absolutely.
Anthony Davis can do a lot for that team.
Anthony Davis is a lot better than them now. Hold on now.
Combined,
Anthony
yes,
Davis,
absolutely.
Now, listen. Hold on now. Combined, when it comes to a level of athleticism, yes, Anthony Davis has a lot more athleticism. But when it comes down to athleticism, Anthony Davis is a freak of nature. Come on now, dude is a beast. But at the same time, I do agree as far as not giving a Clay, because it does help Steph. It gives Steph, he doesn't have as much pressure on him, because truthfully, and it takes a lot of pressure off of Durant. But also too, if I turn around and I switch up and I get Anthony Davis, you know what I'm saying? I lose Clay. I turn around and lose Draymond. Draymond's not a problem of losing. You can always, because picking up Anthony is going to cover all that. That don't even matter. It does take a 3-point shooter off the 3-point line, though.
Yeah, I've read some reports that Trevor Ariza is willing to take less money to sign with Golden State.
It would.
I think now after 3 titles in 4 years, it's going to take some teams and some players saying, okay, if we're really tired of this and we're tired of watching them dominate everybody every year, team up and try and form something to take them out. Yeah, now it's time to start doing that. You see what I'm saying? I mean, if you're Paul George, you want to go to the Lakers, that doesn't make much sense to me if you're talking about winning the championship. You know what I'm saying? I understand he's from California.
Is he a package deal with LeBron, though? Or is he going by himself?
I think there's other options that's better than LA if winning is the number one option for you. You see what I'm saying? That's what's most important to you. Why not go to the Pelicans, play with Anthony Davis?
Well,
why not go to San Antonio or Houston?
You can. But a lot of people want to go out there, you know what I mean, because they already see the winning culture of Golden State.
Hey, Tremaine, pause for 1 second. Tremaine, pause for 1 second.
Go ahead.
Breaking news, really quickly. This is about your Rams. Your Rams about to pay Reggie Bush $12.5 million.
What?
For what?
To play.
To retire there?
For what?
We should have just kept Kayvon Austin, Paul.
All right, now back to our regular schedule program. I just had to let you know about your team. $12.5 million for Reggie Bush?
When's the last time he played?
The knee injury in 2015. Wow. What? There's no way.
So
y'all was doing good.
Come on,
and then here you go with this fool.
Is that guaranteed money? Or he's got to make the team still.
Look, at least he's not going to be a starter. We know he ain't going to be a starter. So, I mean, back to what we were saying about, the teams, forming. I mean...
no. Okay, here we go. They still had to pay him compensatory damages. So $4.9 million for that, and then $7.5 million in punitive damages.
They can keep that, whatever. So back to this NBA.
But this is what I'm saying. I get the point. I know everybody wants to combine, get with teams. Everybody's looking at Golden State. They're looking at Cleveland. They're looking at two teams that have dominated the East and the West for the past 4. But either way, I know at the same time with Golden State, everybody, but it doesn't matter. If you look at Cleveland or at Golden State, both teams have been dominating the playoffs. Teams have been basing their teams around these two individual teams, period, point blank. The one thing is yes, Golden State has won 3 out of the 4 years, but also, too, look at this. If you really pay attention, Cleveland lost this year because Cleveland didn't have, they traded Kyrie. And then they were missing a star player, which hurt them.
Cleveland lost this year because they got
Golden State
played. Them players.
I think they need to close.
If they would have won game 1, they would have been in the series. So game 1 hurt them. But what I will say is that when you look at, like I said, for the NBA right now, looking at these two teams, they dominated the East, they dominated the West. Teams are looking now like saying, okay, we got to figure out a way to get in position. Houston had a very good chance of doing it. The Boston Celtics had the same thing. Both teams. Be honest with you, Golden State and Cleveland would have both got put out this year if it would have been to Boston and it would have been to Houston without injuries. I'm just being honest. That's just really what it was going to happen. because those two teams actually stacked up right.
Yeah, because one with Houston, they are better with Harden and Paul in there together than with Boston with Kyrie, and you got Hayward out there too.
Yeah,
next year is going to be a big one.
Boston's going to be tough.
We're going to talk about that in a minute, though.
When we come back, we're going to discuss what will James do, or what should he do, and what teams is in desperate need of having a LeBron James on their team. And make sure you chime in on that Facebook comments. We'll be looking at them, so stay tuned right here on the Walk-Ons.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Mark Ellis now? It's 8:25. We're doing Mark Ellis
in 15 minutes. 15 minutes.
Chris, you're telling me that these jokers really just said that they trying to turn around and get this joker money to
No. It's money they owe him. The judge ordered it.
Oh.
So yeah, so 4.9 in punitive damages, and then 7.5 for something else. So they found him 100% liable. So he getting a check.
Oh. Okay, I'll let that happen. He don't need to come down by the like, we need to keep Tavon Austin for all that.
So he sued the stadium.
He sued the stadium.
Remember, he hurt his knee on the concrete there.
Oh, that sounds like a personal problem.
Wow. Wow. Really?
What? What you say that for? What I ain't do nothing. I was just saying.
Hey, welcome back to the show, everybody. Make sure you find us once again on our social media, on Facebook and on Twitter, and visit our website at freethinkersradio.com. That music here right there is my friend Jono. His album is out called Jono Jono. So make sure you check it out.
It just dropped?
Huh?
It just dropped?
It's on SoundCloud, yeah.
Okay, yo, you might make the Friday Fix this week. Keep that up. That's kind of fire, my guy.
Jono Jono.
You might be on my Friday Fix this week. Stay tuned for that.
Great guitars. So make sure you check them out on SoundCloud. And also make sure you check out our Instagram. And then speaking of SoundCloud, we're having different clips posted on there throughout the week. So if you want to hear different parts of the show, you can see that on our SoundCloud page and on YouTube. So make sure you check that out this week and weeks to come. Now, going to our next topic, we have our little discussion about what shall LeBron James do, whatever. LeBron James do, knowing that he's still with Cleveland. He lost the finals. Well, my bad, let me take that away. He got swept in the finals. 0-4.
So you're gonna be disrespectful.
I am.
Listen, my thing is,
I thought he at least didn't want to.
If you're LeBron,
but he got swept.
LeBron's already acknowledged that in his own words. I'm chasing the ghost of Chicago. I think that's what he said, right? If that is the case, you need to max out your opportunity to win, and that would be going to the best team you possibly can.
Did he say a few years ago that he was the best player in the world?
He is the best player on the planet. But he is the best player on the planet.
He gets swept in the finals.
He is the best player on the planet.
But yet he gets swept in the finals.
Kareem's by a group of swept 6 times.
You supposed to get your You supposed to get your team. You supposed to make your team better. That's one. I understand the whole transition of first half, second half team. You know, Rose is gone, Wade is gone. Now you got Green.
We still talking about Derrick Rose right now?
I ain't going to that.
Why are we bringing him up right now?
But you got a first team who pretty much got you halfway to say, hey, we can beat this team in the playoffs now. To another team where you take them all the way to the finals, knowing that they're not half decent good as Golden State Warriors or half decent good as the Houston Rockets. I even throwing that not even half decent good as the Spurs.
Wow.
But yet, they go to the finals. LeBron James took this to the finals, by the way.
Yes.
51 points, 29 points, 33 points, and then the final
out of the East now. He doesn't have to worry about any of those Western teams.
But you can see how weak the East is towards the West now. But in the final game, they completely gave up in the final game where he only had 23, 26 points?
No. He took 3 shots in the second half.
They didn't give up.
Okay.
No, hear me out. He gave up. Here's how it worked out. The team played that's as good as they were going to get. It's that simple. I've been telling y'all he took these crumbs to the finals. It's that simple overall. LeBron checked out at a certain point, but he realized there is no way we are going to win this series. I'm not trying to overexert myself and stretch this out. We're not going to win this.
And I blame LeBron for that.
Exactly. So it's like, you know what? I'm done. Let's end this series. I'm not going to be here next year. Or maybe not. Maybe he will. But let's go ahead and end this. I'm not going to win with these guys.
And I think that's
after game one, it was over.
That's crap on his part.
That's what I'm saying.
If you're the best player in the world, how can you can't check out? You can't quit.
That's why I say.
That's why you had Barkley with his comments.
You can't call yourself a leader, and then in moments like this, you just give up on the team. Because in game one, it was still tied. You still could have won that game. There was 5 minutes left. But
what game?
He checked out.
Game one?
Game one.
In overtime, there was still 5 minutes left.
I actually saw this discussion last week about y'all talking about game one. First of all, who gets the full blame of it? And I ain't trying to go deep of game one because it's in the past now. But JR gets half of the blame. He should at least put the ball.
He don't get half. He
gets half because he should put the ball.
All right, where are you putting the other half? If you gonna give him half,
I'm not blaming him at all for that.
I'm not gonna blame him fully.
Only thing he did was waste the opportunity to win. That was it.
Well, and they still had a chance to win. There's still 5 minutes. What I say? What I said last week? A true leader, you gonna gather the troops at that point. You got 5 minutes left. It's not over. We're not dead. We done pushed this team to a overtime.
After what happened in game one, your whole mindset is screwed.
Yeah.
If you're in that game from beginning to the very end, Tremaine knows this in football terms. If something stupid like that happens, your mind is all over the place.
Oh yeah.
Team is also screwed up too.
Question.
So there's no way to think of what to do.
So where was Tom Brady's mind when they played the Falcons and they were down, they came back and won that?
Oh, first of all, Tom Brady's a special player.
So hold on. But this is the thing.
Special player.
Well, I'm not saying that they both in different worlds, but at the same time, football and basketball are two different things right now. Okay. In basketball, I said what?
No, but I was not.
But if you want to be, if you want to be compared to Jordan,
but it's the thing. First off, see, and I even when we go back, I hear everybody. Even I know people gonna say something in the comments because I'm saying this because it comes down to Jordan. Jordan was a great player. I'll take nothing from Jordan. Jordan got 6 rings. We still call Jordan the greatest player of all time, and he still don't have the most rings in the world. So if he still ain't got the most rings, 6-0, yes. But who else got? But who got more rings than him?
Bill Russell.
So
11.
when it comes down to rings, right? Bill Russell got 11.
That's why I gave up on trying to judge people.
Yeah, well,
excellence.
They only had about 8 teams playing back then.
Yeah.
And Boston had all the best players.
At the same time, yeah, but at the same, so but then guess what? So the Chicago Bulls had some of the best players at that time, so they won their championships. It is what it is. But when it comes down to it, I say this: when I watch the game, like going off what Marcus just said, when you look at that game when they played, my thing with LeBron is this, and I think a lot of people they blame a lot of the players around LeBron and say these guys are doing this, they're doing that. If you watch LeBron made a lot of bad, stupid mistakes. He did. He was doing some things that was unnecessary. He was throwing the ball in lanes that weren't open. Don't get me wrong. His IQ level is phenomenal. Dude is bar none one of the best players I've ever seen. He's a better all-around player than better than any other player that I've ever seen. He can play any position on the court, which is you can't find that. But at the same time, LeBron, he checked out after going into overtime. He didn't have to check out. He chose to check out.
Exactly.
He checked out when it came down to he checked out because they was looking for too many calls. Like Tristan Thompson said, we looking for calls everywhere, and we not just playing basketball. If they wasn't gonna get no calls. Yes, they were getting cheated on certain things. I will agree to that. Yes, they were not getting specific calls in the games, but at the same time, as the leader of the team, LeBron should have stepped his game up when he needed to. Now we got to remember he's still human.
Yeah,
we forget that part because we expect him to be superhuman, but he's not superhuman. So he gonna mess up because he's still a human being. You know what I'm saying?
Here's where I say the problem came in. I say this all started back when he was leaving Miami. Or we're going to Miami. So he goes to Miami. It's okay. He constructs this team with Bosh and Wade around in a system they can work. Cool. They get there. They get 2 rings. Okay.
Right.
They're starting to get long in the tooth now. Okay. We got to make a move. Kyrie is in Cleveland right now. Okay. How can I make this better? Trade that pick. Get Kevin Love. We can make this work. He constructed that team to beat the Spurs because at that time, that's who they were going against a lot. And that team was ready to beat the Spurs. But nobody saw the juggernaut in Golden State coming.
Nobody.
So that threw everything off. We've already made these
Kevin
moves,
Durant
and now we can't do anything. So, yeah, LeBron laid the blueprint for all these players. Kevin Durant just followed the map to the treasure.
Super team here, super team there.
I'll actually go way back, though. Shaquille O'Neal is actually the one that started this. Because he went to Miami, then he went to Cleveland, then he went to Boston. That's too weird. He won the championships in Miami.
I wouldn't even say he started. I would say the Boston team in 08 started it, really. Because what LeBron did in Miami, that was a reaction to what the Boston Celtics did. He couldn't get past them.
He lost still considered a super team,
and then he formed a team in Miami to beat them.
And they just keep one-upping it. You do this? Okay, I'm going to do it this way. Now, Kevin Durant's like, okay, and I think team has player development.
And the best option for LeBron to attempt to one-up the Warriors is going to San Antonio.
Yeah.
That'll be the best.
Him, Pop, and Kawhi?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. The best coach he's ever had, who's also the greatest coach of all time.
He does say that he's the one
You
of the best
tell
coaches.
Kawhi LeBron James is coming, and if they offer him that Supermax, you gonna turn down $200 million? Because I'm not.
No, if he gets that, he would definitely.
I don't care what happens. 200 million is 200 million.
The best teammate he's ever had, and Marcus Aldridge. There's no other option to me. I think that makes
and Pop's system
exactly. And then I think Pop can probably extend LeBron's career by about 7 years if he goes there
because they play technical basketball.
Because Pop plays. He's so fundamental. It's different. Pop is a very fundamental coach. That's going to be a whole other world for him. That will help him. Mm-hmm. So my thing is that if LeBron doesn't stay in Cleveland, one thing that keeps hitting Cleveland is if Cleveland goes off in this time right here, it matters who they pick up in the draft. And a lot of lottery picks,
because they are stuck by those contracts.
Right.
Who said Westbrook to Cleveland?
So somebody in the comments said Westbrook to land, Cleveland trade their first pick, and Love to OKC, and Boogie comes to. Actually, Boogie would be a great addition.
Now if
they just need.
That would be interesting.
They need another superstar.
If he's healthy.
They need a point guard. That's number one. They need a serious point guard. Cleveland need a point guard to keep LeBron. If they don't have a point guard, that's gonna hurt them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They can't. Big men is not their problem down in the post. Right. Big men is not their problem. They got post men. They've not had a problem with the rebounding problems in Cleveland. Yeah. Their problem is that when you don't have a point guard and you don't have an actual addition like a real, not just a spot up shooter like a Kyle Korver, but somebody who can also spot up but come off the dribble and shoot. Mm-hmm. They need those. If they can get that, they'll be fine. Because Tristan, if you keep Tristan and Larry Nance, you're fine. You're going to get the rebounds you need because Golden State could not out-rebound them except for when, what's his name?
10 seconds left. 10 seconds left this topic. LeBron stays or goes?
Goes.
He gone.
I say gone.
He out of here. The jet is ready. I talked to him this morning. We out.
So, man, what do you think? Stays or goes?
You got 2 seconds.
At the moment, I'm thinking he goes.
All right.
All right. Have fun talking to you, Tremaine. We will catch you next week.
All right. Coming next, we got Mark Ellis. So stay tuned right here on the Walk-Ons.
Yeah, that was him calling just now.
That was him?
Yeah. I didn't want to answer. All right, I'm about to call him back. All right, I'm about to call him now.
All right. Everybody in the Facebook comments, thank you for watching today. I see your comments. And I see David Pendergrass' comments about Jordan getting swept in the first rounds. I will say this, though. That was in the beginning of his career.
Yeah, very
not later on in career. So
it doesn't matter.
I think that's a non-factor right there.
Man.
How's it going, man?
It don't matter if you get swept in the finals or the first round. You still
How's it going, Mark? It's Robbie.
Hey, Robbie, how you doing, bud? I apologize.
No problem. We're fine. We just got you on a little later than we thought. We're about to come back from commercial in just a minute.
They lost in 6 games.
Okay, cool. I'm ready to go. Everything all right?
Yes, sir. Going great.
6 minutes.
Good. I appreciate you having me, brother.
All right.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. On the phone, we have Mark Ellis. Robbie's going to introduce him in just a minute. But also, remember to follow us on our social media on Facebook and on Twitter. Visit our website at freethinkersradio.com. And find us on our SoundCloud at soundcloud.com/Walk-Ons Radio. And find us on our YouTube at Freethinkers Radio Network. And all of our shows, from this show, from the past shows, and to all the shows that's on the network, is on that YouTube page and our website. So make sure you check us out on there. And everybody's in the Facebook comments. Keep on comment about the last 2 topics we discussed. We're going to talk about that also later on the show on our Walk Talk segment. So make sure you comment. We see all about people talking about where James should go and Westbrook and all them people. So we're going to talk about that later on the show.
We're going to get some comments.
All right. We're excited to have Mark Ellis with us. He's I believe he's the more athletic of the Ellis brothers. This is just my humble opinion. I had the privilege of officiating a little flag football when Todd and Mark played out a little flag football about 10 years ago, and Mark could flat out go get it. I think he played wide out at App State, and if we're playing pickup basketball, I think I would maybe take Mark over Todd. But Todd, he has an elite arm. Now I've never seen anybody throw the ball like Todd. It just kind of hummed when he was throwing it. So, but be that as it may, Mark, what was it like growing up in an athletic family like that?
Well, I've said all along, Todd and I have talked about it. I said, if I would have had his arm and he would have had my legs, we could have actually been a decent player at some point.
Yeah.
But, Dad was a really good back growing up in upstate New York, and Mom was an all-state basketball player. So, we were lucky. It was just Todd and I growing up in Greensboro, North Carolina. So I think they passed some good genes down to us, and it worked out pretty good.
No doubt about it. I had the privilege of going to see I Can Only Imagine this past Friday night, and it's playing now on St. Andrews Road at the Spotlight Theater there. And my wife and I went and checked that out. And releasing that DVD today. Bart Millard, the star of that, the band Mercy Me, and well, how were you fortunate enough to become involved with this faith-based movie and the song? Just tell us about the song and the story. It's touched so many people, in addition to Bart Millard and his family, and what does it mean to you to be involved with such a project as this?
Well, these faith-based movies are really doing well as of late, and it shows you the appetite of the audience, and that, you want to have those movies where you can sit down with your family and watch these things, and it's a good movie and a good story. And this is one of those, based on a true story with Bart growing up in Texas, and it's a wonderful story. The Irwin brothers who directed it, I also did a movie with them called Woodlawn, right, that we shot in Birmingham, Alabama, another faith-based movie.
Very good movie.
It was a period, it was a good movie, good high school football movie, and based on a true story. And so there is certainly there's a big, strong drive for these type of movies. So I knew the Irwin brothers. Those guys got their start at ESPN. They were action cinematographers. And they said, they took a chance and said, you know what, let's leave ESPN. Let's go back home to the South. And we want to do these faith-based movies. We'll start a production company. Mm-hmm. And they've obviously done a wonderful job. And I think there'll be more to come besides Woodlawn. And I Can Only Imagine. I think this is just the start. I mean, the thing's done amazing at the box office.
All right. Well, I got a question for you. It's Chris. So, Robbie told me exactly what you had going on. I checked into it. You worked on Any Given Sunday. Those at home, if you have not seen it, it's one of the greatest sports movies of all time. What was it like working with Willie Beeman himself? How was Jamie Foxx on that set?
Jamie's one of those guys, and I've worked with a bunch of Academy Award winners, and that's part of my job too, right? Is to make these guys look great. Jamie's one of those guys, and I will tell you this. A lot of people don't know this, but originally that was Puff Daddy's role, and It didn't quite work out.
Thank God.
Yeah, and
Thank God.
Yeah, exactly. I think Puffy can play a little bit of basketball, but Jamie's one of those special people. If you take a look at what he can do now, he's obviously comedy, drama, music, and he's athletic. I think his dad coached in high school. Jamie played in high school. So he was extremely athletic as soon as we got our hands on him. Mm-hmm. Really, really good under center, and he made me look fantastic.
Awesome.
He's great. Real talented guy. He's got good wheels, good arm, everything.
Okay.
Awesome. And another movie, Rookie with Dennis Quaid. You teamed up with Dennis Quaid a few times, and this is based on a true story. And it just seems like Hollywood couldn't have written a better script, but it was actually based on a true story. And he wins the region, and his team. He told us the team told him that if we win the region for you, you have to try out. So tell us about the Rookie and how you enjoy doing that.
Great story. Yeah, great story. Dennis is great. Again, Jim was a left-hander, and so Dennis being left-handed, of course, I had to double him in Any Given Sunday, and then he's a lefty, obviously pitching as well. Mm-hmm. But the guy that produced that, one of the producers, had a year with the Brewers, and Jim and him played together in the minor leagues. Okay. So Mark Charty, who produced the movie, knew Jim and thought, wow, this is going to be a great story. And of course, it's one that, in that group that I've done with Disney, those Disney feel-good sports stories like Miracle, The Rookie, right. The Game Plan. And I know I did Invincible with Wahlberg. Yeah. That whole group right there, have done some of those great movies. John Lee Hancock directed that movie. He's a Texas guy. Mm-hmm. And I think one thing that we did to capture the baseball so good, I think also it just felt like West Texas when we shot that. Of course, we did shoot that in Austin, Texas, but good movie. Dennis did a good job on that.
He sure did. And you mentioned Invincible. I mean, that just took me back to the days. You recreated the Cowboys in the Eagles game one time and looked like Tom Landry on the sidelines. I mean, you couldn't have done a better job with that one. But one other one I want to ask you about. This was a South Carolina one. We may have to finish this up after the break, but the radio with Cuba Gooding Jr. Just based on a true story from South Carolina. You threw that questionable interference call, I think, against Hannah and drew the ire of radio, and radio ends up getting flagged. And what's it like to be able to incorporate yourself into that script?
Well, listen, as you can imagine, when I'm doing these movies, sometimes they just run out of people. I'm not a very good actor, but they say, we've run out of people. Go over there and yell this, or go over there and do that. So it was fun. Two Academy Award winners. I didn't think I was going to upstage them, though.
All right. We'll be right back with you after the break. Mark, thanks.
All right, we'll do one last question, then we go to the next topic. Everybody that's on Facebook Live, thank you for watching tonight. Make sure you send those comments in. We're having a great discussion about everybody. Russell Westbrook has came out in the discussion.
I don't know why.
Hey, welcome back to the show, everybody. Once again, as we always have been discussing, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, all that good stuff. Follow us on with the Walk-Ons Radio and visit our website at freethinkersradio.com. Hey, Mark, I got one final question for you. This is a sports question. Who is your favorite team, and why were they not in the finals?
You talking about NBA?
Oh, yeah.
Well, listen, guys, this was a perfect question. I'm getting ready to promote the next movie that's coming out this month called with Uncle Drew.
There you go.
So, Kyrie, I became a big fan of Kyrie on the set, and my starting five was Kyrie and Shaq and Chris Webber and Nate Robinson. And I had Lisa Leslie as well. Lisa outshot all those guys, by the way. She was a better shooter than all the guys. Yeah. So
some
of
those retired players getting out of shape, probably.
Yeah. But I became a real big fan of Kyrie. Now, I did a movie. I worked with LeBron 2 summers ago on a movie in New York, and he did a great job acting. Both of them could act real well. But I
might
really
be moving to LA to get closer.
Probably.
That's exactly right. Listen, I tell everybody all the time, every actor wants to be an athlete, every athlete wants to be an actor, and everybody wants to be a rock and roll star. That's the way it is out there.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. So I kind of became a Boston fan after I worked with Kyrie, and we're getting ready for Uncle Drew now, and it should be a good little movie.
Awesome.
Outstanding. Well, keep us in mind now. If you need any radio show commentators or broadcasting teams, we're only a phone call away, Mark.
We're right here.
Well, Robbie and Chris, I will tell you that there's a reason you guys do radio. You guys probably have those radio faces. You know what I'm saying? They're not TV. I don't know that for sure.
This is true. This is true, I guess. That's how it works.
Uncle Drew comes out June 19th. Is that right, Mark?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys having me on this, man. This has been fun. It's so great to hear you guys do this thing.
Awesome. Mark, thank you for calling in
Thanks
today.
a lot for joining us, Mark.
Thank you, guys.
Awesome.
Right.
Mark
Take
Ellis. Make sure you check out Uncle Drew on June 19th in your selective theaters. All right, next, we have the No Love segment. Me personally, I'm got the No Love. I know Chris had for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, go right ahead. You got a good one tonight. Go ahead.
I really feel something in my heart on this one here. And this is why I feel. With the Toronto Raptors. Just recently, they hired a new coach, Coach Nurse.
Hired from within.
Hired from within, which is stupid. Because, one, you have a head coach, and Dwayne Casey, who is now the head coach of Detroit Pistons. But they should have never fired Casey in the first place. Reason being is because he got this team better year by year by year by year by year. Just because you can't beat LeBron does not mean you are a bad coach.
Yeah.
So the top office is stupid for doing that. Because one, you don't know if LeBron James will stay on the East Coast or going to the West Coast. If you went to the West Coast, you pretty much blew your chance of winning the East because Toronto had pretty good talent. You got a good fan base, good coach, all that good stuff. And you have stuff building for you. You won the most games of ever in your franchise history. But yet, you fire your head coach who hired him in the first place to help him coach the team. Now you're going to fire the head coach.
It was a knee-jerk reaction after
and then
getting swept.
And then hire an assistant.
I got some news for you. Boston's here. They weren't going to, even if LeBron leaves, they're not winning.
Will be a toss-up between Toronto and Boston.
Doubt it.
Boston probably wins.
Kyle Lowry is mentally fragile.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm talking about the Raptors here, about why you going to fire a guy that pretty much helped coach this guy, but yeah, you're going to hire the assistant after firing the head coach.
Well, Detroit is taking advantage of Toronto's loss. They've already hired him as their head coach.
And Detroit's going to beat the mess out of them.
They just got better.
Yeah.
I promise you. And plus, you got all these free agents. You got Blake Griffin on Detroit.
That's what I'm saying. Dwayne Casey is going to do wonders for that team.
Oh, yeah. I just ready to see the matchup between Detroit and Toronto.
Detroit got to get good again. I miss the Tayshaun Prince.
Oh, the Prince and Billups and Big Ben.
Big Shot Bob.
Rest in peace, Hamilton.
Rest
in peace. But for Casey, though, when he faces off Toronto.
Oh, they're going to kill Toronto.
I don't see Toronto even having a chance against Detroit when that happens. So
why? I mean, who's on Detroit that makes you really think, wow, they can really beat Toronto?
I think his coaching is going to get them to where they need to be. I'm not saying it's going to be no 60 points.
They're still a free agent or two to come in there and want to play for him.
Yeah.
True.
I think he'll get a little bit. I think he can convince a few people.
He can make them a 45-win team maybe this year.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's 45 sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care if they lose every other game. They're going to beat Toronto. At least in his first meeting with them, he's going to have them ready to try and beat Toronto.
Toronto roster is legit. I like their roster.
Yeah.
Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan.
It's cool.
You know,
it's cool.
Van Vliet.
But are they going to play the same? They had a good coach. Are they going to play the same?
I think so.
This new coach.
Because, I mean, the team is still intact. The team didn't change. They still got Jonas Valanciunas, Serge Ibaka. What's going to change?
Serge
Ibaka. He still reminds me of the Bobcats, the Charlotte Bobcats.
He's an imposter. Ever since Kerry Hilson left him, it ain't been the same.
I just think if I was Casey, I would feel some type of way. You gonna fire me, but you hire your assistant. Hire my assistant, my former assistant.
That's usually how it goes, though.
Hey, not like that though.
What did he say on Making the Band? Somebody always coming for your spot, and he was coming for that spot.
Well, that's my no love for this week. I just felt some type of way. You should have not done that in the first place. If you're going to fire a head coach who got you better, but yet you're going to hire this.
Cavs fired David Blatt. Warriors fired Mark Jackson.
You see how that going right now.
I'm just saying.
You see how that going right now.
I'm just saying.
So we'll come back. We got the Clemson chat. And then we will have Coach Fire on the phone. So make sure stay tuned right here on the Walk-Ons.
Good. You want him on here now?
We'll play the video again.
So you want him now? You want him on the line now?
No, you can start talking.
I mean, this is true. This is very true.
Gotta ask Coach Fry about that. Did you see that? The Southern Cal girl chasing.
Oh yeah, that's cool. I saw that video. Yeah. I think Coach Bryant commented about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You saw that video?
He was smoking.
Is it that she would save her energy
Looked
for
like
that
she was
last
doing
leg,
100
or
yard
that game
dash.
gave up?
Listen,
Everybody
she had
else
all
was
that
running
left
mile.
in the tank.
Yeah.
Gone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But I say it's that she was in her energy, or that girl that was in her head that's like, I won this. Boom.
Coasting to the finish.
Yeah.
Must not have been a jumbotron.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Hey, welcome back to the show, everybody, on the Walk-Ons radio show.
Was that dude's album too?
No.
Oh, okay, I was going to say. Yo.
He's still a good time to sing, though. Follow us on our social media and website at freethinkersradio.com. We had the Clemson chat, so let's go ahead and check out what Wabi has in store for us this week.
Wright Temp Heating and Air has served the Greater Midlands area for 30 years, providing service on all makes and models for our commercial and residential customers, as well as commercial and residential unit changeout and new construction installments, including VRV installs and designing commercial applications. There's a federal tax credit of 30% and a state tax credit of 25%, totaling 55% on the installation of a geothermal system. For a free unit estimate, call Wright Temp Heating and Air today at 803-755-6556. I'm Robbie Kiner with this week's Clemson Chat. The NBA draft is Thursday, June 21st, and two Tigers will not be a part of the festivities. After originally putting their name into the NBA draft, Marquise Reed and Sheldon Mitchell pulled back out of the draft after not signing it with an agent and not getting an NBA Combine invite. That's good news for Brad Brownell and the Clemson Tiger basketball team for the 2018-2019 season. They'll be back to form one of the best backcourts in the ACC, if not the country. Reed averaged 15.8 points per game last season, and Shelton Mitchell averaged 12.2 points per game. They both averaged over 3 assists. Also back is Eli Thomas, who had over 10 points and over 8 rebounds a game last season. And don't forget about Amir Sims. He racked up 12 starts of his own after Dante Grantham went down with an injury. So look for these experienced Tigers to make another run at an NCAA tournament in 2018-2019. We'll see you Tuesday night for the Walk-Ons and next week for more Clemson Chat.
It's the Clemson Chat, so make sure you check out Robbie next week for every new show of the Clemson Tigers in baseball, football, basketball, all that good stuff. So
don't forget about our friends at Wright Temp Heating and Air too. 803-755-6556 when it's getting hot out there, so you need to make sure your AC is up to date.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Thank you for Wright Temp Heating and Air for sponsoring the Clemson Summit. As you can hear, Coach Fry with the groan. He's here. He's here.
Hey, man. Hey, the Gamecocks played longer than Clemson in baseball. Hey, we did good. We did good in track.
Both of them ran out of pitching at the very end.
Hey, I will say this for the baseball team, though. You know, win or loss, what happened for them getting to the Super Regionals it's still a great accomplishment. Knowing what had happened.
They wasn't lost. They got washed.
They got washed, but hey,
they were sitting there at 20-17 though. You didn't expect them to go that far.
Hey man, there's three SEC teams still playing, as we all know in every sport. Just came off from track, and all the SEC teams are in the top. Heck, we end up being number 35, and hey, we were one spot away from getting in the top 20. TT had a bad meet.
Hey, Coach, but, I do got this one question, though. Do you hear about this girl named Kendall Ellis, the USC women's track person who came from 9 links to defeat the girl?
Oh, my goodness.
Won the team title for Southern Cal, yeah.
No, man, that was something. That was on ESPN as one of the plays of the day, like number 3 or something.
That should be 2 and 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
Yeah. Been watching her a while. But people just need to watch that kind of thing happen. Not like that all the time, but there's some phenomenal things that go on. Like, shoot, the guy ran an enemy a hurdle right up to Evan Moses this time. And, kid threw 1 voltage shot in a disc. Hadn't been done in 30 years. So there are all kinds of 30-year things that went on in the meet.
Was that the Georgia guy that did the shot in the hammer?
Yep, that was him.
Yeah.
And it's phenomenal. You know, it don't take. They didn't have 4 athletes, and they ended up winning the national championship. It doesn't take that. It don't take but 4.
Wow.
You know, if you get 4 guys and they can score 20 points apiece.
Yeah.
It's like if LeBron had 4. You know.
Wow. How about that? Speaking of LeBron, Coach, I want your opinion about this. Do you think LeBron will probably stay in Cleveland, or will he go somewhere else?
No, he won't. He ain't gonna stay in Cleveland. But
you say he won't stay in Cleveland?
It's not because he doesn't like his teammates. He don't like the owner. they'd have to sell LeBron a part of the ownership so he can control some stuff. That's my opinion.
You think so?
That'd be very interesting.
Well, you know, the owner has been, in hot water ever since he made those comments, or not comments. Well, I can say comments, but also that letter too when he went to Miami. And knowing that he did came back to Cleveland and won the championship with them, I do believe bad blood was still in the system.
You traded Kyrie even though you didn't have to. You fired his favorite GM. He's leaving.
Yeah. But if that does happen, just like how Philadelphia got rid of Lazio, he might do stay and bring in players that
everything happens. It's the price of the Trump Tower. I mean, they give him a tower. I mean, if they give him a hotel and let him stay in Cleveland for life and give him, he wants billions. He don't want millions. And Michael Jordan is a billionaire, and LeBron has been able to purchase that kind of influence with the world buying products. So his next thing is commercial. How much does Cleveland want to have him be a part of Cleveland? Yeah. Do they give him part ownership of the team so he can be a billionaire? And
that'd be dope.
And that's a decision they got to make.
Brandon, you said something about Kobe making the comments about LeBron.
Yeah, I didn't like his comments because he said LeBron needs to figure out how to win. And the reason why I didn't like it is because, for one, for Kobe, right, he needs to figure out how to win, okay? He forced Shaq out of LA. So he forced the Lakers to choose between him and Shaq. They missed the playoffs the year right after Shaq left. And he lost in the first round back-to-back years, and he demanded a trade. So was he trying to figure out how to win during that time? I mean, I'm confused.
Okay, get it off your chest. Spicy talk to close the show out.
I don't criticize what he said. What he said was correct, but my thing is, it's coming from the wrong person. I think he's speaking very hypocritically. It's tone deaf, and it's not in touch with reality.
What the comments say? I know we got Kobe stands in the comments.
I think Kobe, he's just in his retirement mindset. He can speak what he wants to say.
I think Kobe's just a little frustrated. People propping up LeBron next to Jordan, not him anymore.
The fish is always bigger. That's the way it is. Hey, you are always greater than you were whenever you was playing. And as the years go on, you be great. The greatest player ever doesn't run his mouth. And that guy is named Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
That's
right. It is not any of these guys.
I understand that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is not even in any of these discussions at all.
He
needs to. Huh?
He's number 2 all time for me.
Yeah. He needs all the respect.
They don't wag. He doesn't wag his mouth. He actually reads books.
Yeah.
What?
Reads books.
He reads books.
Everybody that's on Facebook Live, thank you for watching our show today. This is the Walk-Ons Radio Show. We will be back next week. With
Dave Dickerson next week, coach of USC Upstate.
Yeah, so he'll be on the show. We'll have a lot of comments, and then also we got Savell Newton coming up in July. So make sure you spread the word, spread our show, all that good stuff. So make sure you do everything you can to share our show to everybody. From Brandon, you, Chris, and Coach Fry on the phone, and Tremaine that was on the phone earlier, and Marquez that was on the phone earlier.
That's right. Everybody that was a part of the show tonight.
Thank you for tuning in.
Keep it real. Keep it real. It's football season. Let's stop talking.
Let's go. Let's go, Coach.
See y'all
next week. Talk to y'all later.
All right. Have a good one, Coach.
All right. Savell coming in studio. All right.
We still going, or?